I'm gonna take my time and do it right. Oops.
Big Daddy Swolls. BDS.
Welcome everybody to another episode of BDS TV. I'm your host, Big Daddy Swolls, and today's guest, actor, entertainer, Anderson Davis. My guy.
What's up?
Long time friend.
What's
Haven't
happening,
seen
baby?
you since high school. My gosh, time flies, brother. Time flies, man. How have you been, man? Talk to me.
Like
How you
an
been?
eagle, baby. Just keeps going higher and higher. I've been good, man.
You been good?
I'm happy to be here with you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Well, we
You know
got
what I
we got
mean?
some things to catch up on, brother. Like,
20
Yeah,
years,
because I've
man.
seen you do some pretty incredible things since the little town that we shared a little bit of time in. So talk to me about it, man. Well, your story. Tell me about yourself.
Isn't that something? Like
Yeah,
we both came from that small town,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Man, you know, so I don't know if I should tell people where we're from, but you know what?
Sometimes.
Let's let them think about it. But where where we're from,
Yeah,
you sometimes don't get out.
yeah. Most don't get out.
Most don't get
Most
out.
don't get out.
You know what I mean?
You're trapped.
So you trapped, and man, but not me and you.
No,
Not us, man.
no. So
You're
how did
doing-
you? But talk to me about how you got out. That's what I want to know. How did you get out? That's what I'm kind of curious about.
You know what's interesting, man? I think from way back, I'm not talking like high school. I'm thinking just when I was a little kid, man. I didn't see just a small town.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, I saw possibilities everywhere.
Oh wow.
12 years old. I remember telling my folks, like, what else is there? Right? What else is there? Ask my dad, what else is there? Like, because my dad was a musician.
Oh,
He
really?
played the sax,
Oh, wow.
man, writes music,
Wow.
you know, and he did that his whole life. He had a band, actually, back in the day. And so seeing him kind of pursue what people call a dream, which really all it is people pursuing their passions.
Right.
It's only a dream if you think it's a dream.
Yeah. Right.
Right? It's not a dream.
Yeah, it's not a dream.
That's for the dreamers.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not for the
Yeah,
doers.
yeah. The
right?
no goers.
The no-goers. They
Yeah.
call it a dream.
Yeah, we don't have time to dream.
No, we do. We just do. And sometimes it takes longer, and sometimes it happens overnight.
Yeah,
But the doers do.
that's right.
So, you know, watching him pursue something, I went, man, there's got to be something more.
Mm.
So even at that young age, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it's the checklist, right?
Mhm.
What do I want to do with my life?
Mhm.
And what you go is as you go along with life, you just start going, right?
Yeah.
Mountain
Trying
valley.
to fall into what fits you the most. Where's your passion at? Especially
What
at a
works.
youthful age, right?
Yeah, what works? What do I love? Because you know, man, like that passion changes.
Mm.
It changes, right?
You can,
Like,
yeah.
oh, back then, man, I loved baseball.
Oh yeah, I remember you playing.
I love baseball. Man, that was good.
Yeah.
That was good, dude.
I remember.
Matter of fact, I had a buddy that I played with back in Indiana. Hit me up the other day and he goes, "Man, you're the only non-major leaguer that I know that hit the ball like you did."
Right?
And I'm like, oh man, I felt good when he said that. I got sad when he said that.
Mm.
Because I'm like, man, I would like one of those MLB contracts.
Yeah.
Give me some of that.
Yeah.
Right? Give me some of that.
But you've done some things that scream harder than some of those MLB players that are like
I know.
don't even have some of that recognition that you've actually gotten. So
I know.
there's a lot of positive things that still came your way.
Oh man,
Yeah, still came your way. But I'm sorry, I don't mean to go off track
no,
about
dude.
it.
I mean, you know,
I like the
that's one of those things where you just look back at life, like you said, we're 20 years out, like that we've seen each other. I've been following you, you've been following me, and you see people just doing it.
yeah.
And that's something, man, where I love to see that.
Isn't it great?
I love to see that.
Yeah.
You know, because what else? What else is there?
Right.
Honestly,
Right.
you sit back and watch other people do it, or you do it.
Right.
Those are the two
Or
options.
talk bad about people.
Or you talk bad about them.
Or just sit there and just like, yeah, I could do it, but
Yeah, I don't want to do it.
yeah,
I could do it.
Yeah.
Bullshit. You ain't doing it. You just sitting there saying that you could do it tells me that you ain't gonna do it, and,
Right.
and I will do it.
Right.
So
I
it's
am
just
doing it. Yeah.
now, one thing I've been really good at all these years is not giving too much attention to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause
You
you-
get better at that as you get older, right?
You do.
You just kind of go into your own.
You do, but
place.
I even saw that way back in the day. You know what I mean? Like you see people talking about people, high school stuff.
Yeah.
You see it in high school. People are like,
Yeah. Still.
still, man. and
clicking
then as
up.
adults,
Yeah.
still clicky, and you're like,
popular
bro,
contest.
I don't even have time for that, man.
Yeah.
Like, where do you find the energy?
Right.
Why don't you take that energy and convert it to some other sort of jet fuel?
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't give that hardly any energy, but I've always wondered about that, where people go, I'm going to stick it in my haters' face, and all my haters, they give so much attention and so much energy to their haters. Why? You know what I mean? What do you think?
I think a lot of times from your haters, you can actually utilize what they say as
No,
gas.
I feel that.
I think it's important to have people critique you all the time.
Sure,
It's kind of a way to reassess your thoughts, because sometimes the hate is actually there is some truth in hate sometimes, but to me personally, bro, I would say as far as giving them energy and paying attention, I pay attention to see if I'm going the right way.
Yeah, I got you.
You know what I
got
mean?
you.
I pay attention to see if
I
I'm going
got
the right
you.
way. I don't necessarily care so much about what people say, because 99.9% of the time they're not going to say it to your face anyways. They're saying it
Yeah,
to somebody else or
And
through
you
the
can't
grapevine.
care,
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah, and it's just like I also find people that do all the talking have no direction. Nowhere to focus their energy on. So I mean that's how I think about them. I think they're an important piece to have in your success. I do.
yeah, I feel you.
Because they not only do they keep me from they've taught me how not to get angry over things that don't matter. They've actually given me I don't know, I guess I would say like part of my adultness. I guess,
Yeah.
kind of make me see.
Well, that's a good point, because then, like I said, like everyone, I don't know like your outlook on them, right? I guess you're telling me now,
Yeah.
but everyone's journey is different. You know what I mean? Like, so
Definitely.
you use it, right?
Yeah.
Me, I'm just like, I don't even need it.
No, that's cool, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's cool.
I don't know why that is. I can't really give you an
Probably because you're that
explanation.
dope, bro. It's probably because you're that amazing, bro.
Man, I don't know, but I just go, I get what you're saying though. Like, use that fuel.
Yeah.
For me, I'm just like, I got other things in my
Right.
life that I use as fuel,
Right.
where I'm like, I'm gonna use this as my fuel,
Right.
right? Which we all have.
Yeah,
we all
yeah,
have
yeah.
these different things. We
Yeah.
can pick and choose
Right.
what we want to be our jet fuel.
Yeah, for sure.
So then I go, this is what I'm gonna use,
Mm.
because I know at the end of the day, like we go home, no one's thinking about us. Like, the world,
Yeah,
the
well,
world thinks about
think-
you for a moment.
yeah, other people think that everyone's thinking about them all the time, but it's just a quick conversation
like-
piece. Hey, you see that? Oh, okay. Did you see that other thing? Oh,
but
you
no
see
one
that?
lives
Yeah.
in you, right?
Yeah,
no
but
one's
you-
like
but you-
always thinking.
But you think that when...
But if there is
Yeah.
someone doing that, you might not want to get near them.
Yeah, that's true.
That's like a bad girlfriend.
Yeah.
Bad ex. She might be thinking about you
Oh, man.
all the time.
Yeah, that kind of that can happen, especially when we hold it down the way we hold it down. It can definitely become a easy situation to get into.
Oh yeah.
But I know for me, a lot of my hate that I focus on, I couldn't escape as a kid. Because I grew up around a lot of just in my face, nothing. When you're young, you can't escape it. Yeah, you go to school. You come home, you hear from, your family, your members. I mean, certain people can't escape it. Some people, then they have to get used to it. And so they're used to looking at it, and then they're used to being callous to it. But at the same time, they're still being able to utilize that part of it to be able to push themselves forward, propel themselves forward in life. So I guess for me, the way I grew up, that's why I probably have, an adaptive trait of being able to utilize that.
Well, you're a good example
Yeah.
of being able to use it the right way.
Yeah.
Because with social media today, and you'll be sitting there scrolling, and you'll come across the video, and you hear it's a lot of time. It's not always men, but it's mostly men, right? Because men got that fire.
Yeah, always that.
You hear every once in a while that one dude, shove it in your hater's face. Like when they look at you, man, they want to turn away because they're embarrassed because of how far you come, what you've done, and it's like, oh man, it's like, dude, you got so much energy. Like take that energy and just stick it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Forget these
because they've been focusing on that. They've been utilizing that as gas. Now there's like a big old present they get to open up and like, and then they get to look. And for me, it's like, even though I do things as my, my accomplishments or your accomplishments, I don't notice my accomplishments. Are you like that? Like I don't ever notice
I always
any of
feel
my,
like I didn't do enough.
Yeah, right.
You know
like
what I'm
like
saying?
that. So I could never ever reach that part to where I can be like, yo,
I got you.
In your face.
I got you.
In your face.
Nah,
like I
dude.
don't get like that. That's not me. So it's just because I don't feel like I've made it yet.
No,
And
I'm
a
the
lot,
same way.
yeah, and a lot of people will say that, what are you talking about? But for me, it's like I never feel like I'll make it.
No,
I will
feel you.
always be so what's the word I'm looking for? I will always be so
Maybe not
driven,
content.
content. Yeah,
Never
I won't be. I will
content.
never be in content. I will never
Do
be
you think
content.
maybe that's human nature?
That's the word I was looking for.
Right?
Yeah.
Human nature, right? Where we go, you're into fitness. Well, you get to 315.
Yeah.
I feel good. I'm strong. But then what about 320?
Right.
What about 325?
Yeah.
And you get there and then, what about 350?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Certain people can get like that for sure.
Where it's like,
Easy.
we're never content.
Yeah.
Well, I want to make X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
Well, you hit it and you're like, shit, I made that.
Yeah.
How about this?
Right.
But, I did 2 songs. Well, I want to do another album.
Right.
Well, what about 3 more albums?
Right. Exactly.
You know, so you
yeah.
get what I'm saying, where it's like, we're never content.
Right.
And that's, I don't know if that's a driving force, which I think it is.
Oh, it is.
But potentially, maybe just,
And some people.
potentially maybe it's just a humbling thing too. Because if you get too caught up in what you've done, I mean,
Yeah,
you hit a wall.
Then you'll spend all
right?
your time on, look at what I've accomplished. Look at me. Look at that.
Well, like
and
you
you'll slow
even
down.
said, I hate talking about stuff that I did a year ago, let alone 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, man, I moved on from that, but you got to kind of somehow live in those things.
Yeah,
where
well-
it's like, I appreciate that.
Yeah, you
That's
get.
good.
I think you get to at a certain age, you get to that point and then take a break and look at it.
Well, you know what's crazy? I was on Instagram the other day, and this dude hit me up. I haven't responded. I don't hardly ever respond. I post and ghost.
Yeah.
I just can't respond to everyone, right?
Yeah.
Anyhow, I'd read his post, and he goes, March is 10 years since you did the Zesty campaign. That's nice.
That was an amazing commercial run. That was like some of the best commercials I've ever seen in my life. All those commercials
2
you did.
things hit me there.
Yeah.
2 things hit me.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years. And this dude still remembers from 10 years ago.
Yeah, everybody remembers.
Right?
from 10
I'm like,
years
damn,
ago, man.
dude, that pop culture
Everybody
just-
remembers that. And you got in before it turned to this mess.
No, no.
So you got to actually live it,
lived it,
How
man.
did you get that job? How did you land that gig? How did you land it?
Man, it's been so long. I got to think about how I landed that gig.
Yeah.
There was this creative director on it, Patrick O'Neill. He's still a friend of mine.
Oh yeah, I know.
You know,
I think I know Patrick O'Neill.
Blonde dude.
I think yeah.
Handsome dude.
I know who he played in that sitcom and Doc Doogie Howser MD, right? Was that
I'm
him?
not sure what he's done.
I think
But I
that.
think mostly he's a creative director.
Creative
I don't know that he was.
Maybe it's the
I
wrong
don't
guy.
know.
I don't know.
It might
man.
be. It's a Patrick O'Neill. That's
Yeah,
a common.
yeah.
That could be an actor's name.
Yeah.
But I think Patrick was just a creative director. He was really talented. I was doing another job at the time, and I couldn't get in for the audition. Well, I sent him something, and we're gonna have a special, session for you on a Saturday. And so I came in on a Saturday, just me, with the director, in red form, and that's all I remember. That's how I remember doing it, and not even thinking much of it. I was thinking, man, it was just another national commercial.
Yeah.
Because at the time, what is that? 6 years in. I mean, in the last 15 years, man, I've done 40 plus national commercials.
Oh man.
So, working with every company that you could imagine, working
That's
with
incredible, man.
print-wise, working with every company you could imagine. I don't know who's left to work with.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I'm at, right? Where I'm
Wow.
like, man, I worked with everyone across the board. So here I am. I don't know who's left, right? There's people out there.
BDS TV,
BDS,
baby, right here,
BDS
right?
TV, and here we are. But there's people out there.
Yeah.
But I don't even, it was a throwaway because I go, oh, just another audition. It's just like one of those things where you're like, oh, this is what I do. But ended up on set, and even in the process of doing that, I didn't think it was gonna have that sort of punch,
bro.
Man, and then it launched, and I go,
bro. Every time I turned on the morning news on entertainment, you were on there, popping, vegetables
launched,
in these girls' mouths.
I was doing all sorts of nasty.
They're like they're sticking
all sorts of nasty things, dude.
They're sticking their tongue out. Yeah. You're like, ooh,
man,
girl.
I'm not kidding you, man. I got people still today. Mr. Zesty, Mr.
Bro,
Zesty.
I go nuts over it, man. I think it's one of the dopest commercials I've ever seen in my
where's
life.
this guy? Where's this character? I'm in better shape now than I was then. I'm like, I'm gonna bring this cat back.
Bring it.
Maybe selling something else. I don't know.
Why not? Dude?
Water, selling something.
Sell anything.
Selling sand to a camel, man.
Sell the man with the tan. Anything. You can tan in a can. Whatever you want to sell.
I'm telling you what.
Sell it all, bro. I wouldn't slack. I would run that.
I know.
I would run that. And that honestly, bro, that was an incredible moment.
Crazy things, dude. I'll be going to the gym. My homeboy at the gym goes, man, why don't you do an OnlyFans? It's like cooking, like shirtless.
But bro, you would win.
I go, huh?
You would win.
You think so?
Yes, you would win, bro. 100%.
My mom would see that and she would just, she wouldn't claim me anymore. You know what I'm saying?
What are you? Well, I was talking to my buddy the other day. So OnlyFans actually has a really good network. My buddy John right here, sitting right here, he was telling me a lot of people actually just utilize it for just straight. It eventually just turned into some pornographic thing.
Oh, I know.
That like I'm like, ugh. Man. That's any girls that got like a little link on there, I'm just like, okay, next. I was
working.
It literally's got that like aura to it or whatever. Whenever I see it, I'm just automatically assuming like, okay, I know what that person's about. So I move on to the next thing. But yeah, but it's actually used. It was originally used for people that are fans of people that were just trying to, get involved with their creativity somehow.
This dude was sitting at the gym. He's at the chicken counter. Mm-hmm. Hey, Anderson, you should do like a shirtless cooking video. And I go, when I looked at him, I go, dumbass. I'm walking away like, you dumbass.
Well, how was he looking at you? How was he looking at you?
Well, I don't know.
That's the real question.
I wasn't
how was he?
watching it.
Like there was a little S.
Nah.
Do some cooking. Yeah, no.
I go, but then when I walked away, because he goes, man, you would make $1 million a month.
Easy.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Walked away. I'm like, that little idiot's onto something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it though. You know what I mean?
Why?
I don't know.
We were just having that conversation about that. Know. Like we should just go.
Just
go.
I know.
Because what are you missing out on at that point?
I'm probably missing out on like a couple mil.
Hey, we call it dreamers and doers. We were just talking about it.
I know.
I mean, and it's not hard to set up. All you need is a phone.
I know. It's like a finicky game, right? Because what am I trying to do? What do I want to do? Well, I want to act.
Okay, so you don't want to brand yourself.
I don't want to brand myself,
you don't
right?
Brand yourself.
So if I go too far here, I'm stuck here. If I go too far there, I'm stuck there. You know how it is. Like
the Superman gig, like where everyone it's hard for the Superman to get a different. How does he get out of that, right? Yeah, I think this guy's actually doing a pretty good job of getting out of it. I've seen
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, I've seen him moving.
No, he's doing it. He's doing it, but
that was a role nobody could get out of.
No,
that was a role nobody could get.
They did that, and that was it, right?
Yeah, they were stuck in that role. Yeah, that was it. It was the end of their career after that.
So it's just one of those sort of crapshoots where you're like, let me roll the dice. Am I going to get out? How's it going to happen? Can it happen?
Of course it can happen.
You know what I mean? Of course, yeah.
I kind of got that. I kind of got that mentality. Like I won't let anybody say anything pessimistic. At all,
man.
Like I'm like that. I can't even be around it because I got so much faith in good people, especially like yourself. Like I won't even hear it. You know what I mean? Because I already know you're an amazing heart, amazing person. You're one of the guys I got along with back in the day, and that goes a long way for me.
Nice.
That's
nice. It's funny. I didn't hardly get along with anyone either.
Yeah. You always kind of stuck to yourself too.
Oh, lone wolf, man.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I liked it. Do you remember my Uncle Carlos? You remember Carlos to coach rhinos?
Hold on, that's your uncle?
Carlos.
So his I know his son very well
Carlos.
too, little Carlos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
little
very clear. They
Carlos.
all know me, bro. Yeah, like I love
Like
those
Uncle
guys.
Carlos.
Yeah.
Like, he's alone. That cat, matter of fact, he got
was a
lost
cool
up. Hey,
dude.
he got up in the woods. He still hunts.
Oh, really?
He got lost up in the woods, and I had to almost go up there and find him. But my point is
Yeah.
Uncle Carlos is a lone wolf.
Yeah. Yeah.
Up there hunting by himself,
Yeah.
doing his thing.
Yeah.
It's just in the blood.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's
Well, I
like,
think you have to be kind of like that in order to survive in an atmosphere of chaos.
I know,
Especially when you're
absolutely.
trying to do stuff like this.
Yeah.
You know, because you can't really pay attention to the comment section sometimes. If like once it becomes too negative, I think what did Joe Rogan said? I don't even pay attention to the comment section or
Never reads them, right?
Yeah,
Because you go down that rabbit hole.
Well, yeah, because then you're like, oh, this person said that person said that. And it's like you can't win everybody.
So let me ask you then, so going back to like high school, did you always feel like maybe there was just never like, you were never at home?
Oh,
You know what I'm
Bro.
saying? I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly, but that's
yeah.
something I felt where I'm like,
right.
none of this feels like
Yeah.
where I'm supposed to be.
Right.
Sort of,
Yeah.
right?
Well, for me, I was always in the gym during
Oh, yeah,
lunchtime,
I know
and
that.
they were like literally nobody else would do it. I was the only kid in the whole high school that went to the gym during lunchtime. Nobody else was like, what is he doing?
What's
This
that
is
guy
before
doing?
bodybuilding was big. I had all this pent up aggression. I had to put it somewhere.
good you put it
and I didn't
there.
really like anybody there either. You know, I didn't want to be around anyone because, like, you know how
It's the same way, dude.
how people acted and stuff. You know, because in that city, it was like it's really bad. You know,
yeah.
it's either do drugs, party, click up, or conform, or go somewhere else. So I chose to just bang those weights, man. I chose to be left alone.
That's a good trade-off, though.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same way, man. Not in terms of like just going, you're more into that fitness world than I am. I still work out, but I
Well,
don't,
bro, dude, how you get the roll?
yeah. I do what I got to do
Yeah.
to get myself in shape. But, I just never felt really ever at home anywhere. You know what I mean? So it's a sort of an interesting sort of dynamic where you're like, what am I searching for? How am I getting there? And so it goes back to that young kid where I'm like, there's got to be more. There's got to be something bigger than this little town. Like I felt like almost trapped in a cage, right? And so then going out of it was like people would go, wow, man, that's cool. That's cool. Well, you're doing this and you're doing that. And I'm like, big deal. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go. You're supposed to find something. So it wasn't out of the normal for me, right? Going back to I'm never content because it's never enough. Right. So that mentality might be bred from like just a young age where you're like, you don't even realize it.
Yeah.
I'm just piecing it together right here, right now, where I'm like, who knows? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me it was like when I first saw my Lamborghini on the TV.
Oh,
I think that's when I was like, whoa, what's that? Oh, I want that. How am I gonna get that? And I was like, I'm looking around. I'm like, in this town. I was like, I haven't seen any car worth anything near that. Like, not even a quarter of it.
No,
and I was
dude.
just like, well, where's that car at? How come I haven't seen that car?
Not there.
Yeah, not there.
Not there.
Well,
Not even driving through
Well,
there.
at least got to be around it. At least got to, and then I got to start being able to talk to people who have that.
True.
I have to be within some sort of reach of this person to be able to have a conversation to see how they obtained it.
Yeah.
At least that. So there was that aspect of how I was like trying to like,
Yeah.
and I knew I wasn't going to get anywhere there.
Man.
Like I knew I wasn't. So, but well, okay. So how did you get into acting? How did you start?
You know what's funny? In short, what happened was I played baseball. Went on to play baseball all over the country. And after, long story short on that, because I'm not going to live in that, like injured, right? You hear it from every athlete. I'm injured, I'm out. I drug it along or I didn't, but I'm out. So I'm out. And within, I think, 6 months, came down to LA, was floating down here with living with my sister. And got to get a job. I'm like, shit, I don't know about that. That don't sound good. Right? Went to 24-hour fitness, man. Doing cold calls for 2 weeks. I said, nah. Nah.
Yeah.
Hell no, dude. I'm out, man. I ain't doing this. Got on Craigslist of all things. Booked a national commercial off of Craigslist.
No way.
As a baseball player.
No way.
Yeah, so long story short, I was telling John, it's like, within an audition and a week, I get my SAG voucher. I'm standing at home plate at Dodger Stadium hitting home runs.
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm broke. And then these checks start rolling in. Oh, cool. That's more than I made. But then they keep rolling in.
Royalties, baby.
And I'm going, this ain't legal. Right? Something's off, right? Something's not right.
Yeah.
And this is back in 2008, 2009. You don't get those royalty checks like that today.
No.
It's different.
Yeah.
Too many platforms.
Yeah.
Everyone's taking a
spread
piece
thin.
of the pie. But back then,
Yeah.
you work for 1 or 2 days, you just might be good for 2 years.
Long time.
If you're good with your money.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't just about the money, but I go, oh, this is cool. I like this. So it was sort of a natural transition because sports, you're entertaining. You know, either you're a hard-nosed athlete and you're just hard, dirty, or you're one of those guys that's like, I want to entertain. I want to put a little flash into this.
Yeah.
And I was always like that. I'm gonna put a little flash into this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit a home run. I'm gonna pimp it down to first base a little bit.
Yeah.
Right, flip the bat.
Put some moves on.
Dude, just put a little move on.
Yeah.
So I just kind of transitioned that right over
Right.
and said, oh, well, that's entertainment. This is entertainment. Slightly different. Let's figure it out. And just went from there.
That's cool.
And just said,
man.
let's go. Right?
That's cool.
And you just keep beating down doors. Even today, just beating down walls, waiting for that right job. You know what I mean? But it's funny because once I said, let's go,
Yeah.
I made a list. I want to do this. And I had a full list, right?
Right.
Everything. I just kept going. Just check. Commercial,
cool, man.
pop star, video game, just co-star, guest star, movie, just checklist. And still, back to what we were saying, still not enough. I'm still like, what else can I do? What, but that's part of who I am in terms of how do I grow? How do I be better? And maybe it's not just because I want to be a bigger, better actor. Maybe it's just me finding who I am.
Right.
Whoever that is, right? Because as you know, it feels like every 5 years, man, we're different,
At least.
right?
You don't remember your old self.
Oh, I do. I remember myself getting
I
thrown
mean,
out
like-
that bar window.
Yeah. You remember parts of it.
I
but
remember
like-
parts of it.
But I mean, like,
I was ornery, man.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I was probably as bad as you. You just don't know it.
Man, well, no wonder why we got
dang it.
along. No wonder why we got
I
along,
know,
bro.
man.
You know?
There's 2 heathens in the box, man. But yeah, no, you just are changing. I'm finding myself at the age we're at, constantly like going, oh, well, what's next? What's the next level in the game?
Yeah.
How do I get better? But mostly what it revolves around is how do I understand myself better?
Yeah.
How do I get better? How do I serve other people? How do I give back? How do I pass on a little bit of knowledge? How do I learn some knowledge? You know what I mean? And that's kind of a good place to be, right?
It's an amazing place.
Because giving and taking in this the circle of life.
Yeah. Paying it forward, being able to know it. I mean, the more you know yourself, the more you actually know where to put yourself.
Yeah.
Because, you start analyzing, you start figuring out where your talents are, where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, who you can be around, who you can't be around. Like all these things, the more I don't like that. Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to like this certain situation over here. But things you would consider yourself enjoying, maybe you don't really find value in that anymore. So the enjoyment is gone. It's not filling voids. You just start being able to fill those voids, maybe.
I think if it would have been a hell of a thing to learn that stuff 20 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
It's an old timers thing. Oh, if I could have, just would have, I should have.
Yeah. But I found myself saying it so much. Like, gosh.
I know.
Just thinking it like, wow, man, if I only would have just.
Just
But I didn't say I shut down the OGs. That's one thing I can say about our generation. We had the OGs. We had the people that like kind of guided us a little bit.
Oh,
and
100%,
I think
man.
you and I were like one of the ones smart enough to listen. A lot of people aren't smart enough to listen. Everyone says, be smart. But
Sure.
if you're smart enough to listen,
yeah.
you can actually make some,
It's
pretty good decisions.
It's interesting you say that because there's a thing in professional sports or even sports in general, is he coachable? A lot of those hotheads are not coachable. And it goes back to life. Like, did he listen? Is he teachable? That's a big thing, dude.
Yeah.
Real big thing.
Because what are you going to be able to pass down to? Or what good is this person? Is it going to be valuable if I can't teach them anything? Any person for that matter. Like if you can't listen, you can't grow.
No, 100%.
Like at all. Like, you know, that's a very valuable lesson.
Do you find yourself now kind of like really love interacting and dealing with people? Or are you just on the fence?
Well, as far as me being interactive with people, I love putting smiles on people's faces.
Yeah.
I love walking in a room and saying hi to people, but when it's not reciprocated, you know, I because I'm putting energy into making people feel good. I'm putting energy into making people smile and you know, try to make their day a little bit better. But when they come at me with something negative, I don't show that it bothers me, but it kind of like, damn, that really sucks.
Yeah.
And I feel it. I feel it.
What about little kids, like boys? You ever run into like a lot of younger kids that look up to you?
I don't.
Really?
Because I'm not out there.
You're not out.
I'm not out there.
Not even when you're at the gym and stuff? Or do people not approach you?
Oh, well, people approach me all the time in the gym and everyone says hello. And sometimes, you know, 3 or 4 people will come say hi to me and I try to spread it around. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
you're trying to work out. Yeah, you're trying to do your thing.
No. I mean, I'll be like, what's up, everybody? I'm Big Daddy Swolls. Hopefully you're enjoying your entertainment on BDS TV. If you are, please make sure to give me a like, comment, and subscribe so you guys can be the first to be notified about new content that's released. Also, be sure to check out my website, my music page, my social media platforms, and our merchandise store, all listed on the links below. Like, in conversation with 3 people.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, you know, I'm so sorry. I want to walk away. I'm like, and I'll go, I will literally, if one walks away because they thought I was ignoring them, I'll literally go back to them like, hey, man, I wasn't ignoring you. Like, but as far as people, I'm not bothered by people at all. I'm more bothered by ungenuine people. Like if you're ungenuine with me, it hurts more than a regular person. I guess I would think so for me because I know it really, you know, it really bothers me to put energy into somebody and then to see them not be
reciprocated.
Yeah, like I'm huge on loyalty. I'm huge on honor. I'm huge on code.
Yeah, but you're living. Oh man, but you're living in probably the worst time to be huge on those things.
But here's the thing. That's why I don't have that many friends is because I have that much honor. The more code and more honor you have and the more loyalty you have, the less people you're going to get along with.
100%.
Period. It's just the way it goes.
That's 100%.
Right.
We have a lot in common in terms of, it might have been the water from where we came
maybe.
from.
It might have been somewhere. I don't think it was Orville water. I think
it might have been.
It was maybe a rest stop.
Made us mutants.
Yeah.
No.
But I mean, that's true though, you know, and the hardest part for me is it's a great filtering process for me. Absolutely, probably one of the best. Yeah. But it's very lonely majority of the time because, you know, people will scream this loyalty stuff. It sounds good, makes you feel good, makes you want to be a part of it. But it costs to be loyal. It costs to have code.
It costs some heavy action.
It costs friendships. It costs because you'll hold people accountable. And then they don't like the mirror that you're holding.
Man,
you know, so
you're so right.
Right.
Dude.
So
so right.
It's very hard to be loyal and have code and have loyalty because you're gonna miss on opportunities that may not be good for you anyways. Sure. But you might think that they are, but you're not ready for those blessings or whatever that situation is. So but by you being a stand-up guy at the end of it all, after the smoke settles, after that thing, you're left with your people who are loyal to you. You take care of them, they take care of you, and you're good with the set scene while all these people are still out in the clouds, still out not being able to see. So for me, that's how I feel. Sorry to go on so far.
No. I mean, that's an interesting thing to me. I always like that because I was saying something earlier today. I posted, it was interesting because I posted on my social media, you know where you get that sort of third-party number for people to text you. Through a program and the first time I did, I had so many people reach out, all sorts of people, and I'm like shocked, right? I'm going, whoa, dude! Like people are telling me their stories, people are telling me their stuff. I love connecting with people, right? Where it goes back to that having conversations, connecting, but I also fall in that class of where you're talking about loyalty is huge, honor is huge, code is huge.
Yeah, the biggest.
It's the biggest, and then you don't get that. And so you're living in this realm where you're kind of like, you know what I'm saying? This sort of in and out, in and out, in and out. You want to give, but then you kind of don't want to give, but you want to give, but you don't. It's an interesting spot. I'm still working through that because most of me is like, man, I want to
Yeah.
I want to give. I don't care if it's reciprocated. I got to learn to not have any expectations. Have, the expectations of myself, right? And let them chips fall where they may. So that's an interesting thing to me, to sit down and talk with someone about that because, we're down here in Southern California. Code, honor, loyalty. These words are
almost non-existent.
lost over the grapevine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those words are lost over the grapevine. So it's an interesting world to try to maintain who you are in the chaos of all of it. You know what I mean?
Very hard.
Very
hard. I mean, I was talking about this the other day. This place will come in and slowly bring itself into your soul and then devour it from the inside. This place called LA. You won't even know that it's happening to you if you're not careful, if you don't do self-checks, if you don't do, a checklist. All right, am I slacking here on my morals? Why did I let this go? I shouldn't have let this go. There are so many things, like even throughout the music industry, I was so guarded with whatever move this person said. I would go look it up. I would check 20 different sources. I would check all these things. And I still got ripped off all the time.
Is that crazy?
There's so many checkpoints and checklist things that you have to eventually build up to. And eventually I was having this conversation with my buddy, Ike, great guy. You have to eventually build up an armor of knowing what's what. So if you get shot at with this missile of lies or deception or something, I know what that is. I got the right body armor. I can handle that. It's coming on me. So you have to kind of build together your armor. You know
what I like to say?
Off you.
You know what I like to say? I'm not to be preachy, but the armor of God.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a chest plate.
That'll protect you all the way.
That's the sword of salvation.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth, and it protects you. And when you go, well, but you got these beliefs, but you're working in this sort of industry that doesn't believe that. There's a lot of people that do believe.
Yeah, there is.
So
a lot more than they think.
Like you said, glass can't always be half empty.
Yeah.
You got to go, well, there might be some people that kind of have my belief too.
Right.
But the beauty of that belief is I'm not judging you. You don't have to believe like me. But be open to letting me have my belief. This goes to a worldly thing where you've seen an insurmountable amount of intolerance in the name of tolerance.
Oh.
Right? Where it's like, man, you got to be tolerant, but I don't have to be tolerant about what you do.
Right.
No, that's not how it works, right?
Right.
But back to the armor of God, that's where you get compassion, grace, forgiveness, kindness, and just overall love.
Well, that's yourself. That's who you are. That's how you maintain yourself.
Yeah.
That's how you don't let those seeds of corruption enter into your body and start growing.
Yeah. And you recognize those seeds.
Yeah, you have to
when they hit, when them seeds hit.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be, whatever the drink, women, money,
drugs,
too much of this, too much of that. You recognize it. You go, no.
Yeah.
I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of that armor, just kind of deflecting off you.
Yeah, and that's also the long way towards success, but it's also long on longevity.
Sure, 100%.
Go together. So people don't understand that. We're about the long run here, and the long run is the long run in all categories. There's no overnight.
You're right on, man.
Yeah.
You're 100% right on with that. I talk to people about that all the time. It's not just fitness. It's life, man. It's career. It's finances. It's spiritual. It's emotional.
Yep.
It's longevity. And you don't get that from A to B. You get that from A to B, B to C, C to D.
Yeah.
The marathon, man, not the sprint.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? The marathon, not the sprint. Stop trying to get from A to Z today.
Yeah.
Because we're good. We're perfect examples of that. Yeah. Well, we're never where we want to be.
Yeah.
But if someone looked at us, they'd go, But you came so far.
You're right.
Right? We don't see that. No one else sees that. Everyone has their own story and their own journey.
Yeah.
And most people have come so far.
Yeah.
They don't see it.
Right.
But it's just one of those things, man, where it's like.
Yeah. You're never where you want to be.
No.
But do you want to be?
Yeah.
Is that where you want to be?
Yeah.
Well, let's think about it. I get to my destination. Now I got to find a whole new purpose.
Yeah.
So think about it. Right now, you got something in front of you. I know a lot of people that didn't have any purpose during COVID. Me being one of them because everything got shut down. That's one of the worst places to be. So I enjoy my journeys. I enjoyed my places and the directions I'm going because what else is there once I get there?
There's a lot to be said too
Yeah.
for when you. I don't know if it happens or when it happens for everyone, but there comes a certain age where you wake up, man, and you just open your eyes.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm good. I'm grateful.
You right?
I'm grateful. And you start your day that way, not as a cliche or not as like an excessive thing where I'm like, I got to make it a point. But if you really wake up and that becomes part of you, who you are as you go, damn, man, thank you for letting me open my eyes today.
Right.
Everything else kind of pales in comparison.
Right.
You're upsets in the day and you're just like, but maybe tomorrow. Maybe we'll get it tomorrow.
Yeah. It kind of falls off.
If I'm lucky to get tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know.
Yeah.
You look back, man, you see people from high school, you see people from friends that passed on too young. Yeah. And so here we are, man, like we're here.
Still.
There's this saying by Paul Newman that I love. One of my favorite things. If you got a pulse, you got a chance. Right?
That's great.
And so, there's nothing else that needs to be said. You got a pulse, you got a chance, baby.
Yeah.
And so here we are. You know, we're living, we're breathing, you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing, and we're trying to, be a little bit better in a world that needs people to be a little bit better.
Right.
Every day. And wherever that takes us, who knows?
Yeah.
But
That's
as long as we're moving in that direction, we're going to find some peace and joy in that.
And it's a wild ride, bro. Like, I don't use the term wild, like, loosely. I mean, like, when I say the world is wild, I mean, like, you just don't know what's coming at you. Because, I mean, I still feel the same way as, like, when I was in the ghetto.
Yeah.
I still feel the same the way of not being content.
Sure. Yeah.
And I look around and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like, I haven't taken a look at what I've obtained, what I've accomplished, what I've done. I don't even think about, college, Marines, being in movies, having my record on, the radio. I don't think about any of these things. I don't think about it. But I think I finally had a chance to think about it. I would say about 3 weeks ago. I just thought about everything I've been doing and things I've accomplished. And it was like a feeling, some self-worth came over me.
Yeah, man, that's great.
I guess that would say that, like, wow, like I have done some things. And what these people, and like, because I've been paying attention to what people have been saying about me for so long.
Sure.
That's part of the reason why I'm not content. And it's a blessing to be able to, want to focus on some part of that, because it's like it gives me my drive. It does give me my fuel. I mean, however I got to get it, I'll take it.
No judgment. Yeah. I just always, that was a question for me. I want to know that. Like, I wonder, like, I see that. Now, I don't see you ever being as excessive as I see some guys online where they're just like, man, these cats seem like they're fueled with hate.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, how do you even enjoy what you're doing if you're like, I've never seen you like that at all. But, it's interesting. Like you were saying, there comes a point where you're just like, you find that self-worth. Mm. And that's a good feeling because, I mean, the last couple of years of my life, not just waking up and going, man, I feel pretty grateful to just open my eyes and have an opportunity to keep living and being the person I need to be for the people I need to be. But also, here we are chasing stuff. And we failed to forget that we're only 3 generations away from everyone we know being gone.
Yeah.
Well, why are we so concerned with judgment? Why are we so concerned with everything that's happening? Why are we so worried? Because in just 3 short generations, we're all, you know what I mean? And not to be morbid, but I mean, that's a good foundation where you go, okay, what am I sweating? Why am I sweating it?
Yeah.
And for what reason am I sweating it?
Yeah, because you tend to get mad over, like, I mean, the things that I got mad about that I'm just look back and I'm just like, why did I get so mad over that?
I know.
Look around, like, everything is okay. Like, everything is okay. And I have to keep reminding myself of that platform, of where I need to be standing. Yeah. And if I can, but that's a big problem with men is, like, we forget things and we allow, like, especially a good-hearted person, we tend to forget things because we got such a big heart. We tend to think everyone else has one too. you know.
Oh,
But
yeah, no,
but
yeah.
for me, it's just I don't know, man. Like we forget things, so we can't always focus on how much we've overcome. So when we run into something that's causing us a problem, we
Yeah.
can't think back like this is nowhere near as bad as all the stuff I've been through. I mean, the hard part is over. We know how to make money.
Yeah.
We have connections. We have these things, and that's something part of the things you have to work through.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
but it's not. You're right. It's not that big of a deal. Everything
Yeah.
is gonna be okay. It always is. Like it always is.
It always just is what it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, like I said, it's one of those things where if you were able to grasp that idea that it doesn't matter if I fail because it's not failure, I'm just learning. I'm learning to make a new turn or a new step and jump over that creek that I fell in or whatever, or that judgment that so and so's putting on me. If you learn that none of that stuff is, at the end of the day, it's really nothing.
Yeah. It holds no weight.
It holds zero weight.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty powerful place to be able to land, because if you land there and nothing's got you by the wings, nothing's clipping your wings, no fear's clipping your wings, dangerous person.
Yeah. And you can move. I mean, imagine all the energy you're saving alone just off not being phased by that stuff.
Yeah.
And just imagine all the, just the positive energy you can absorb or keep
Oh, man.
and put in the right direction.
And there's a lot of people that need it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about a world, dude, that's hurt.
Yeah.
Just hurting.
Yeah.
Hurting for hope. Hurting to be able to be pushed.
Yeah.
Hurting to be loved. Just hurting in general. And if you can somehow grasp that inner, champion, that inner hero,
Yeah.
and give a little piece of that to the world, I don't think there's anything better, man.
Yeah. Especially
I
if
really
you
don't.
know everything's going to be okay. Especially if you know everything's going to be okay. I mean, like I said, like I love that quote. If you got a pulse, you got a chance.
Oh, it's great.
I mean, have you ever just been dealing with something so stressful and then you fall asleep and then you wake back up and it's like, you know what, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I think it's because you gave your mind a second to relax, breathe, absorb the break, come back to it. And it's like at 80% better when you wake up from a nap. I think it's maybe because, you've given your mind a break from it. You've adapted,
Even in the finality, man, of like death, it hurts, right?
Right.
You're broken, dude. You're broken. You're crying. You're sad. I've dealt with some death this year, and
I'm sorry, bro.
yeah, but that's part of life, right?
Yeah.
And there's this finality about it. But even then, 2 weeks later, you don't hurt as bad. And a month later, you don't hurt as bad. And 6 months later,
Right.
sad to say, it's like you just don't think about it as often, no matter who it is.
Yeah,
right?
no matter who it is.
I mean, it's a sad thing, but it shows you that here we are, man.
yeah.
Here we are getting worked up, when what we should be doing is focusing our energy on how we can make the world just a little bit better.
Right.
Just a little bit better in the
Well,
way
what
that we
matters?
do it.
It's what matters.
That's what matters.
It really does. I mean, but the thing is I've always said, like, there's a lot of these, I would say, celebrities go out and just try to dump all this money everywhere and do all these things. And, try to, I don't know if they're doing it for their own reasons, tax write-offs, holier than thou stuff.
Sure.
Look at me, look what I'm doing.
But the
But-
best way to do that,
Right.
if you could do it, is do it anonymously.
Yeah, perfect.
Right.
Perfect example, right? But here's my thing. For me, I only pay attention to my circle, the people that I can help without hurting myself or bringing myself down.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's as far as the extent of my reach goes. I just try to be good to as many people as I can be good to, but it's limited because of, like I said, the honor, the code, the loyalty
Sure.
I have. Do I think the money and the time and the energy I put into the people going to be used properly?
Sure.
Is my energy going to hold value in their life? Well, probably not. If these people, and like I said, LA, real tough place to be, bro. Really hard. It's like,
Yeah, but the beautiful thing about you and the beautiful thing about the internet is your reach is infinite.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. I mean, but
So
if
even
you
you
can,
with
yeah.
this podcast, which I think is fantastic.
Thank you, bro.
I think it's great. By the way, you just setting it up was inspirational to me because
Really?
yeah, oh yeah, dude. Like, man, he did it. He's doing it.
Thank you,
And
brother.
what else do you want? Like we talked about earlier, what else do you want people to do besides do what they want to do?
That's it.
Go.
Yeah.
Because you sit and talk about it,
Mhm.
and if you don't, it's one of those things that you end up with on your way out, going, man, I shoulda.
Yep.
I wish I woulda. Think I coulda, but I didn't.
Yep.
It's like, damn.
Regret.
Why didn't you? Why didn't you? You should have. Who cares if you fail?
Right.
Man, I can't even tell you how many auditions. Can't even tell you. Couldn't put a number on it. How many auditions that I've not got a call back on, or where it's like, nope, you ain't the right guy.
Probably more than hires, right?
Oh wait,
Wow,
by
that's
a large scale.
People don't understand that.
Failure on a massive scale.
Yeah. Well, everyone has to lose to win.
Well,
Everyone-
sure.
Especially
Oh
if,
no,
if
man.
you know what losing is, you know what winning is.
The thing about me is
Yeah.
I'm sitting in the
Yeah.
bush. I'm waiting for that one shot,
Yeah.
baby. That's all I need is one
you're
shot.
just there.
Yeah, I had it once. I got a little piece and lit the sky up, right?
Yeah. Oh, that was
I
a
get it
big one.
again.
Yeah,
Get it
yeah,
again.
that was a big
I'm
piece.
confident of that. You know what I mean? But just the amount of failure that we have to go through in this life, people don't even realize. Like,
Yeah.
fail,
Yeah.
because you're not even really failing. That's society. Society has said, man, we're all failing if you don't hit the peak of what you're trying to do. It's like, no, you fools. Like, we're learning.
Yeah.
You can chalk it up as failure if you'd like.
Yeah.
Failure is when you quit.
Yeah.
But mostly you're just learning a new way, a new path, right?
Call it learning. Time for more learning.
Time to learn some more.
I had to learn again.
Yeah, gotta learn again.
I had to learn again.
Well, that's
Yeah.
all we're doing, right? In
Yeah.
life is just learning, man. And it's like, man, I feel like I learned enough, but no, you haven't. You're gonna
Apparently not.
God's gonna keep
No,
making you learn. The
yeah.
world's gonna keep making you learn. Your girl, your kids,
Oh,
whoever it's gonna be.
Not something. Not till those lights come off.
Oh,
Not
man.
till you
They're gonna
can't
keep
pay your
making you-
bills.
oh, yeah.
Oh, you don't want to be grateful? Oh, okay. We're gonna teach you being grateful. We're gonna teach you
I
like
know.
yeah. There's lessons to learn. I mean, I remember not being able to eat, and every time I take a bite of food, I tell myself, man, I'm grateful that I can just go to the grocery store whenever I want. I can go eat whenever I want. I can go eat to any restaurant now whenever I want. It's something that I think God is blessed me with, probably because I am grateful about every piece of food I take in my body.
And you intake a lot of food.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm grateful,
Yeah,
man,
no, I feel you.
because I didn't have food as a kid.
Yeah.
We didn't eat that much.
Not that
Like,
good stuff,
Once in
huh?
a while, like my aunt would come in and buy us some food, but it didn't last long, and we just and it was crazy, But I mean, I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful just to be here still, especially because I'm seeing a lot of my friends. A lot of my friends passed away these last couple of years.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary. I was talking to you about earlier because we haven't talked to each other for years.
20.
A long time.
But we
2
kept in
decades.
contact. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, we've kept it, but we
Isn't
haven't
that
seen,
crazy?
seen each other in a long
yeah,
time.
but we say inspirational stuff.
Well, yeah,
and
because
say what's
it's
up,
like those
yeah.
buddies where you like
Yeah.
that homie that you knew back in the day, and then you see him 20 years later, and you pick up right kind of where you
Yeah,
left off.
yeah.
Right,
yeah.
and that's how I feel with you.
This is
It's
an
like,
extreme version though, like 20 years.
know, 2 decades.
Like, dang.
but as you get older, it's just an interesting thing that happens where you just see yourself aging out.
Yeah.
And so how do I offset that? How do I see myself turning into an older man? But everything that we do comes back to that gratitude that you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Where it's like, well, I'm getting older. Well, I'm grateful that have the
Yeah.
chance to get older. Or, well, I'm not happy with how this is working out. Well, but I'm grateful that I still am here to have the chance to fight that battle.
Right.
Right? Or whatever that may be. So it all comes back to gratitude.
Right.
And it sounds cliche
It does.
but it's not. But it's not, dude. It's not. And if you could find that foundation, of course, for me, beyond just gratitude is God, because, like I said, not to sound preachy, but we've done a lot of stuff in my life and accomplished a lot of goals. And still, when I got to the end of the tip of that mountain, I got up to that mountain peak, I still felt a bit of emptiness,
Unaccomplished.
unaccomplished.
Yeah.
And I go, what's filling that void?
More.
Well, God fills that void.
That's true, honestly.
You know what I mean? He fills that void.
You know what? That is honestly true. That is honestly true. I think I had the most peace in my life. like it was that moment where I felt really grateful.
Yeah.
I was riding my bike through all these beautiful trails out here in Newport Beach.
Oh yeah.
And I was just looking around, and I just had this peace come over me. It was just weird. Like maybe it was just a transition of like, you know, the age I am now and what I was fighting to like, you know, stop. But I mean, it's just like this, you know, it was like a bunch of peace came over me, and it was you know, totally God. It had to be, you know, and I just let go of everything.
Yeah.
Just let go of it all. And it was just one of the most amazing moments I've had in my life was recently. It was by myself, riding a bike, looking around at nature, and just feeling the warm wind hit me. It was a beautiful moment, man. And that sounds cheesy, but you don't get those.
He created that stuff.
Yeah.
And through that stuff,
Yeah.
you feel him.
Yeah, but
You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
I actually felt it. It was crazy.
I feel you.
know?
I
It
hear
was
you.
it was, and you don't get too many moments as a grinder like you and I. We don't because we're just looking around. We're focusing on things.
Yeah.
I actually was able to take a moment to myself and just really enjoy nothing but have everything around me. You know, I didn't have anything on me. Just, you know, riding a bike, just stopped and just looked around, and it was just like one of the most. I wasn't doing anything crazy.
That's a
wasn't
good
drinking
place
any-
to be.
Yeah, and it was,
You know what I mean?
and I never had one of those moments, and like I couldn't even tell you when the last time I had one of those moments. Like it was crazy.
It's a good place to be because I could tell you, aside from that moment, whether you accomplish the world or you fall flat, that moment remains the same.
Yeah, right.
It remains with you the same.
Yeah, and you can keep thinking back to it too, as like a recharge or as a peaceful moment.
Oh yeah, dude.
You can just stop, think about it, or even look around and try to attain it again.
Sure.
It's just those moments are some of the best moments ever, man. Because that's I mean, at the end of the day, what do you want as a man? You want peace.
Peace.
That's it. That's all we want.
That's
We just want to be relaxed, chill, not have to worry about everything or feel how we have to take care of the world or people around us. That's why we work so hard, so we can make sure that everyone around us is going to be, you know, safe, protected. And, you know, that's why we're also so forceful and angry because we're pushing things the direction where it needs to go, you know?
100%.
And there's never a break for that because there's everyone especially the weak minds are always fighting it. The unaware, the ones that don't listen, they're always fighting that. And so that's consistent uphill battle for men in general, you know.
That are fixers for sure.
Right. And
you know what I mean?
and we have to
usually
force it.
Usually fixers are doers.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
To simplify it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So it becomes like
So it's just constant uphill grind. You know what I mean? But back to what we were saying.
Yeah.
You take that with, you know, the grain of salt that it is, and you wake up with gratitude, and you put on that armor.
Exactly.
And you go to battle.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then life is beautiful.
It's amazing.
It's amazing, man.
So let me ask you this question. What's one of the craziest gigs you've ever had to get? Like you came across and you were just like, wow, or something happened on set that was just insane, or
man.
Or even the most nervous moment or anything along those lines. I'm kind of curious about this. 'Cause I know there were some nerve-wracking moments.
I don't get nervous, man. I'm just not a nervous dude. I'm an anxious dude.
So you didn't get nervous?
I don't, you know, okay.
So
I got to go back to, I'm going to go back to, I hate to go back, but I'm going to go back to the Zesty campaign.
Oh,
You're
wow.
going to get a kick out of this. Okay. I wasn't nervous. I was just more like, I took my younger brother on set with me. Anytime that I could get someone on set, I love to have them on set.
That's crazy. Yeah,
right?
that's awesome.
So they could experience it,
Yeah.
see what's going on. And so there was this point when we're doing the print aspect of that campaign, and I'm in my underwear, laying on this table with salad dressing. And all these men, creative directors, go, pour that salad dressing.
Sorry, what?
Pour that salad dressing on yourself.
Salad dressing? Those guys?
Pour that salad dressing on yourself. And I go, huh? Pour the salad dressing on yourself for the picture. I hear it from, you can't see past the lights.
Right.
I go, oh, I'm going to pour this. And I look out, and the only person I can see is my brother. And he's laughing, dude. He's going, oh, he's laughing. And he's looking at me like this. And I go, oh, I'm going to do it. And I start pouring. And he's like, you've never seen men get so happy, man. You were pouring this out. Those dudes were jumping around. They were screaming. And that campaign, man, was just so funny and so crazy that it had a lot of like those moments, like were the craziest
awesome.
and the wildest.
Yeah.
But I remember that moment because I'm like, salad dressing on my body, like, huh? And then seeing his face, and then me doing it, and the reaction, but really, I don't get too nervous.
No.
No.
Well, at least we got something exciting out of you, or something crazy. Something
Yeah,
else.
but I
Yeah,
don't get too in terms of
Yeah.
like if you throw me on a set and you go, here's your script, do your thing.
Not even the first time.
Not really.
Really, that's cool.
No,
man.
because you know what, dude?
That's a blessing to have
it goes
that.
back to that, like, who cares, dude? Judge me.
cool,
What, dude? What are you gonna do?
Right.
Fire me? Cool, big deal.
Yeah.
Judge me. You're not my judge. Judge me. I don't care.
Right?
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go ahead, judge me. It's not in me to where I'm like, I just don't really. I get nervous flying.
You get nervous flying?
Yeah.
You do?
I fly every week. I get nervous flying.
Okay, well, yeah.
But you get me in front of the camera, you get me on set, you have me memorize 2 pages. Let's go.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's cool.
What's happening, guys? Anderson Davis here on BDS TV, rocking with Big Daddy Swolls. Check it out. Find me on Instagram, any social media app out there. And let me ask you one question. How zesty do you want it?
Man, to be able to do that, because not too many people can do that. Like even I
It's hard to
myself,
memorize.
even I get nervous, especially like when I come to a new music video set and I'm
Sure.
being introduced to all the dancers, even on my
yeah.
video. I'm kind of like, all right, there's some, because I hire very
Sure.
beautiful girls, like that's me. So like when girls make me nervous.
Girls
Girls make me nervous. Like I'm like normally, like I don't even normally say that, but it's like.
I had 4 sisters growing up.
Yeah. Oh, so you
Girls,
So you got kind of trained into it. For me, I didn't have any. I
went
had my
from-
little brothers.
I went from 4 sisters to the zesty guy.
Straight into it.
I ain't nervous about no women.
That's
women-
probably
women don't
were they
scare me.
older sisters?
No, they were younger.
Oh, younger. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I had to protect them.
Yeah.
Protect them.
Yeah.
No, I'm just not that guy. Not that nerd.
For me, I don't know. It's like everything has to be. I don't know. I'm also kind of a perfectionist too. I look at things, and there's things I look at, and I'm like, man, I wish I would have done it like this and this and
Sure,
this and
yeah,
this and this.
I feel that.
But like for me, it's like, especially when I'm nervous, I get angry. I get angry because I don't want that feeling. I don't want that feeling. I want to be. I want to be.
Relaxed,
I want to be relaxed,
calm.
smooth, and confident, like I normally am.
Yeah.
So it was always a challenge for me to talk to girls anyways, because I was always getting nervous, and I was like, God, like. I'm harder than I'm harder than any man she'll ever probably date, but I'm just so nervous to talk
What's
to her.
the worst you're gonna hear?
Jeez.
Get going. No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, that was,
Right.
that was back in the day.
Yeah.
But in general, it still kind of happens, So I mean, not always, but I mean, like if without incriminating myself too much,
Oh,
I'm just
man.
saying, like it's like I don't know, man. They have that kind of like a force, but you eventually it goes away. But like I said, it's one of those things where I still do that, regardless of whether or not I have money on the table. I've placed a lot of money into a project. I still tend to have that feeling pop up, but after about an hour, it's gone. Like it's completely gone. So you don't get stage fright. You don't get nervous. Nothing.
I get nervous,
Some people. I've heard some people like that. That's
I don't know what that is. I just don't really get nervous.
Yeah, I think it's stage fright.
Like I said, I get fearful of stuff. Like I get fearful of flying, like I said. But aside from that, no.
You fly down here?
Oh yeah.
You did?
Oh yeah, dude. That drive, that drive.
Yeah, that drive is something.
That's
fierce.
ugly. That's ugly.
Yeah, but you make it in a day.
Yeah, you
five. I
could-
think it's
you
well
could.
here's about 6 hours.
Yeah.
Here's about 6 hours, right?
No, that flight's an hour, man.
Flight's an hour, quick hour.
Just boom, boom.
Yeah, real quick.
You know.
Well, man, I cannot believe like you come this far, and there's not too many people from that town. I'll tell you this: I know the people from the town that's been doing stuff. Very few people have made it out, and I tell you this: like it's no short of a miracle. I mean, like I said, there's not too many statistical anomalies. Like don't belong here. And I think when I say don't belong, I mean you weren't supposed to make it type thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you're one of them, brother. I think you weren't supposed to make it. I think you're one of the blessed individuals God has had his hand on. And like I said, it just doesn't happen so easy to us.
No.
We're lucky.
No,
We're
I'm
blessed.
grateful for that every
You know?
day. Oh, dude, I remember just driving over the Grapevine the first time.
Really?
coming in, infield around the Giants.
Yeah.
I remember it, dude. Perfect. My little Ford Ranger, just packed to the brim, dude.
I remember that.
Man, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, no. Though, it's funny because I go back home now because I'm up there in Sac.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's
I
an
go
easy
back.
drive.
My folks are in Orville still.
Yeah.
I go back. I got a few friends there.
I got a couple friends there
But
too.
it's
Oh.
desolate, man. You know what I mean?
I will tell you straight up right now. I have a hard time going back to that place, man. I really do. I have a hard time going back to it.
But also, the beauty of it is there's a portion of that
It shapes
place
you.
that shaped who you are.
Yeah. Oh,
Same
no.
with me, right?
No, that's part of the energy.
And I
right
always,
there.
so often I go, man, forget about that place.
Yeah.
But then there's a part of me that was shaped by that place. Like every place that we go and every person that we interact with.
Yeah.
They all play a little part in kind of either chipping away at our statue or adding to our statue.
Yeah, I think they broke us down, and then we had to build ourselves back up. I mean, that's what I took from that town. It broke me down to nothing, and then I had to build myself into this person who I am today. That's what it is. So for me, it was kind of like a weird transition to be able to come. I mean, like I said, for you and I and a couple other people to be able to make it out of there.
Oh, I know.
And do what we've done is an anomaly. It's crazy,
It is, because like I said, even going back when I'm driving to my my folks are there. So
yeah.
But then I look at the place and I'm like,
yeah,
man,
yeah. It's pretty crazy.
dead zone.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what it is. So as far as your career, what's probably, I hate to even say this, but what's the worst? I would say the worst thing you've ever had to do.
You know what I think the worst thing is because in terms of sticking to my gut and my beliefs, I haven't strayed too far from that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the worst thing the chosen path has done is crunch time on me.
Yeah.
Right? Even with sports, they're going, well, you got to make it before this age. And you're like, well, damn, man, I'm only 23, 24 years old. Leave me alone.
Right.
I don't even know who I am. My frontal lobe hasn't even formed all the way yet. Give me another couple years.
There's an age limit placed on these things.
Yeah, and then even, in the industry here in acting, it's like, well, you want to make it in by this time. And so your whole life, everyone's putting a window on you where they're crunching time when time is already crunched.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've been fighting that, a lot the last so many years of my life where I'm like, just ride this, dude.
Yeah.
Like, ride it.
Well, they put an age limit on music sometimes
Everything,
too, and I'm saying
dude.
it's a vocal in a club, like it's a vocal in a club, and it has to be. And I'm like, okay, well, all right. Well, I never understood that part, but then now it's like they're putting sports. Well, I mean, they got guys in the NFL playing like what is it? Aaron Rodgers, 40 something?
I don't even know. Tom Brady was 44.
Yeah, Tom 44.
Man.
So I don't know about this whole age thing. I mean, I understand at a certain point, when you're on a walk.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
when it's
to feel rushed,
when
I
the
don't
number's
know.
up, it's up.
Yeah.
Right?
But to feel rushed, it's
But
like I don't know.
some of the greatest actors, right?
Yeah.
They don't stop being great because they're 60 years old, 65, 70.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, look at Clint Eastwood.
Oh my gosh.
He's 90-something years old.
Still winning.
Still winning, dude. I mean, that's the one thing that I've hated the most is other people going, here's your time frame.
Right.
That's always bothered me.
Well, same with college.
Yeah.
Same with school.
Yeah.
Same with like having a family.
Yeah, you got to have all this done by this time, and you got to have this done by this time. It's like, who the hell are you to tell me what I got to do by what time?
Well, I mean, women in the family probably like there's probably some time limits and stuff, but
well, sure.
yeah, I mean, but like as far as like as an adult man,
yeah,
going
I mean, if
through
you're talking about like biological timelines, sure, absolutes. But when you're talking about
careers, yeah, it's totally different.
I mean, we can ride these things out until we say no more.
Yeah, especially men.
You know
men can do it for a very long time.
I feel like I'm in the prime, baby.
I never even felt like I missed a beat.
I feel like I keep getting better.
Right? Yeah. But that's why I honestly I've been getting compliments like that. Like, wow, you out there. But like we get a lot of compliments. So I mean, like I don't know, man. Like I like everyone says that we look better as we get older.
Sure.
You know, and
Good thing.
yeah, and it's like I didn't really see that till recently. You know, I don't know. It's like I never
Embrace
even
that.
thought myself I was good looking.
Embrace that.
I never even thought myself was good looking until I've been you know, these women are kind of gassing my ego a little bit.
And the older I get, the better looking I get.
Is that
Or it's maybe because they're getting old and they can't see as good. I don't know what
maybe
it is.
we care less, and
Or maybe
we,
I
and
care
may-
less.
Yeah, maybe we care less, and that's attractive though.
Who knows, man?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But this has been some crazy times, man. We had, and how'd you fare through COVID? How'd you get through COVID? Because COVID was a hard time for everyone.
You know, this will remain my belief as long as I'm alive. Less government is more government to me.
Yeah,
I don't like the government involved in my
Yeah.
life. No, I don't like them telling me what to do. I don't like them taking my money. I don't like them doing anything.
yeah,
But, you know, you got to be compassionate in the sense that people were getting sick and doing that. But shutting down the world, you just can't do that. This is not a zombie apocalypse. You can't shut down an economy. And now we're seeing the fallout from that,
Oh yeah,
right?
It's getting worse now.
Inflation,
Yeah.
the things that are happening. To shorten that up, like I said, less government is better.
But how'd you get through it?
I grinded through that, baby.
You grinded through it.
I had a buddy that owned a gym in Northern California, gave me the keys to that sucker.
Really, it was a little bit easier up there because down here,
Yeah,
it took
it
me
wasn't
like
as tight.
four months to just find something that I
wasn't
could
as
just sneak
tight.
into.
But I also went, like I said, once again, oh, you don't want me near you? You're afraid? Cool, I'll keep my distance.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna play these games.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have me playing these games with you.
Yeah. I
I'm
never
not
wore
gonna
masks.
stay inside. No, I'm not doing the mask thing. I'm not doing any of that. If you wanna, you know, still to this day I had never got sick.
Yeah,
I don't hardly get sick. Well, because I keep, I keep care of myself.
Yeah.
I do the essential things needed to keep my immune system boosted and all those health, check marks.
yeah.
But I didn't.
It didn't slow down too much up there.
It didn't
did it?
slow down, but it just put a hold on my life.
Yeah,
And it changed the game in terms of acting and commercials. It changed that a little bit. You know what I mean? It slowed all that down.
yeah,
And it put, it involved things there where you had to be, you had to have these certain shots to go on sets, and you had to do this and you had to do that. You had to get tested, and you got to a point where it's like, man,
Did you get the shot?
shit, no, I didn't get that shot.
Right on, my guy.
No, that goes back to, if you got it, great, good for you. I don't care, but don't tell me what I got to do.
Yeah,
Don't tell me what me and my family has to do.
right.
Care what you do. Goes
Right.
back to that tolerance.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the
that
thing. It's like
tolerance.
they tell me that I have to do something. Well, if you're telling me that I have to do something, why can't I tell you that
Yeah,
you
that I
have
don't
to
wanna do
yeah.
something.
If you're telling me
Right.
I have to do something, I should be able to tell you have to do something.
Sure.
So, okay, well, let me think what I get to tell you. Oh, you don't like what I want to tell you. Then why are you telling me this? I thought, now we want to
100%.
talk about equality. Well,
Sure.
oh, you're going to tell me something, but I can't tell you something?
100%.
That's not cool. That's
Yeah,
not equal.
I'm just one of
That
those
don't make
people
it
that
right.
I go, let me research this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna let.
Well, don't do that.
I'm not gonna let the
Don't do
media
that, yeah.
or some government talking head get up there and go, well, if you do this, you're gonna be safe, and you gotta. Here's the checklist of what to do. No. Hold up, dude. Let me do a little research on my own. I'll tell myself what's best for
My
myself.
first question, is there money involved? Is there money involved?
Oh, man.
That's my first question to everything I'm told to do. Is there money involved?
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, if
If
there's
there's
money,
money involved, there's an agenda to be pushed.
exactly,
100%.
you know,
But yeah, no, I even to this day, man, I still haven't got sick. So I don't even think I have the flu in the last 10 years.
oh, that's crazy.
The only time I've been sick is self-inflicted.
Yeah,
Too many drinks.
yeah,
I drank too many or something like that. But that's been 4 or 5 years now. I quit pretty much drinking.
Well, talk to me about that. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how you
Let's come back to
you
that.
got it. You want to come back to that?
Yeah, so it's interesting because moving up to NorCal, you get into these smaller towns and you see, the power of what alcohol can do to somebody. I was saying, I haven't been sick in 10 years unless it was self-inflicted. Well, there came a point, and I can't really give you the exact moment. I know the moment. I won't tell the story, but I know the moment that I went, oh man, if I'm going to preach this, I got to be about it.
Right.
There was a moment, right? And it involved a specific individual in my life. And I go, man, well, if I'm going to be that example, I gotta play that role. And so since then, like you, I go, this serves me in no way. Alcohol is going to serve me in no way. You know, the old saying, the devil doesn't tell you about the hangover.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Everything's cool, baby. Everything's flowing. He don't tell you about the hangover.
Yeah.
And not that I was a big drinker ever, but I was an example, right? I would drink on Christmas, come out Thanksgiving. Oh, maybe, have a good time, during the summer here and there. But man, then I go, I'm investing in my body. I got to keep that straight. I got this going on. I got that going on. I got to stay 100% dialed in. How do I do that? Well, the easiest way to do that was I looked around and I seen relationships crumbling. I seen people being just a smidge version of what they could be. Right. And so we got this legal drug that if you partake in it, it could be a good time, dude.
Yeah.
That's dangerous because it could be fun.
Yeah.
Right. But then the fun fades away, man. When you are a 50, 60-year-old man, you lost your relationship with your wife and your kids don't hardly love you because they only love you because you're their dad, but they don't love you because of how you should have been loving them. So I'm like a big proponent, man. When I go out, I get a lot of young kids asking questions, and I love that. Go to the gym, I go out in my hometown, I see some people down here, and I get people asking questions, and I go, I want to be of service. How do I help? How do I help? Can I tell you about the puddles I stepped in? Can I tell you about the puddles that you can jump over? Right? Yeah. Because what good are we, man, if we, there's a saying, I don't remember exactly verbatim how it goes, but it says like, old men planted that seed so you could sit in that shade. Yeah. Something of that nature, right? And you've heard that. And that's our duty, is to pass on knowledge. Well, that's one of the most devastating secret sort of things that I see happening in our society, where people are just, you can go to the store, buy it, no biggie. But the devil doesn't tell you about the hangover.
Right. It's not on that bottle.
Not on that bottle. He doesn't tell you about the devastation. He doesn't tell you about the robbery of a little piece of you.
Yeah, or your family, or your loved ones, or your future,
your loved ones,
or your time.
And I've seen a lot of men who were just a shell of themselves because of that. Yeah. Because life's already hard. It's hard, right? Like you said, we're doing this uphill battle.
Yeah, it's nonstop.
No matter where you're at. You could be way down here and it's a lot harder. Or you could be climbing like me and you were climbing. It's still hard. It's real hard down here, right? It's hard here too, a different type of hard. But I've seen men where I just became almost like, what's the right word? Just completely. Is it repulsed? Is it turned off? Like the word, it's in that realm where it's like, you owe people better. Yeah, you owe them better. Stop leaning on this. Stop leaning on this stuff like it's doing something for you, like it's masking something, like it's hiding something. Right. Don't let the stuff get its claws into your back. Right. And steal life from you. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it does kind of mask everything that you have to deal with. If you develop, especially if you develop a problem. I mean, some people. I'm not telling people to just stop drinking.
Sure.
Do it,
I'm the same way.
Have a good time.
Have a drink. Have a good time.
Do you think? But if it becomes
an issue,
a habit,
right?
A habit.
That's what I'm talking about.
Habit forming, 100%. Where you feel like you need to have it to have a good time. That's a problem.
Sure.
Where you feel like you need alcohol to have a good time. Yeah. There's a problem. Yeah. And that's one thing I noticed about it. I was like, and you don't see it, but you're just like, oh, I'm bored, and you drink. So you eventually, it's weird. Like I would always stop for like 6 months just to like make sure that I didn't need it.
Clean the system.
It wasn't, I would stop it. And
this doesn't got me.
Or if you're going through issues or breakups or death or anything else like that, that stuff is not something you want to be anywhere near.
No. I always say it's better to live in life.
Right.
Live in it, man. Go through the pain.
Go through it.
because you got to go through the joy. You don't do that all broken up, you know? Don't mask the pain.
Right.
Go through the pain, because in that pain is a lesson. In that joy, there's a lesson.
Yeah.
But be open to that stuff.
And you get stronger too from it. You know?
Yeah, dude.
So, I mean,
you get stronger from both sides of it, right?
Right, right.
The bad and the good.
Right.
If you're open to that.
Yeah, they said you drink to make your time better. You don't drink to have a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something like that, right?
So I'm just a big proponent. I've seen a lot of older men really destroy their lives, and it's sad to me.
Yeah.
I almost feel bad.
Right.
You know, they're responsible, but I also know that, man, when something's got a hold of you, it's got you, and it's hard to break those chains.
It's because you're so entrenched in it.
Yeah.
You know, it is hard to break. I mean, I started to feel like I needed it to have a good time. So I'm also pretty strong-willed to be able to stop something too.
Sure.
Like I'm strong enough to know, like, hey, I gotta stop this.
Yeah.
You know,
not
I
a
know.
lot of people are like that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, I mean, I can't cut it off like cold turkey, but I immediately pump the brakes and I'm like, boom, all right, 2 weeks, you know, boom, through, you know, boom, 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 and I'm done. Like I will, like, if it can get you, and it's always like people think that drugs can't get you. Those things can get anybody. Anybody takes the right situation, right person around you, girl, guy, whatever.
We're just talking about that one thing, alcohol.
Yeah.
We're susceptible to
anything.
Anything. Dude. I mean, there's, you know, food.
Food, yeah.
You can become a prisoner of that. I mean, we're susceptible
depressed
to anything. So that's why I was, you know, it's like, there's this thing where, you know, as a man, and it's not like a mark, it's not one of like the stoicism, like the Marcus Aurelius saying or anything like that, but it's in the vicinity where it's like, you have to, as a man, you have to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to live a life of absolute mediocrity.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to have absolute regret.
Yeah. Well, that's also the thing about being a man is that we tend to try to take care of people, and we feel like a failure when we can't take care of our loved ones. So we become depressed.
Yeah.
We become depressed inside because we can't take care of our family. So sometimes that's actually what people will tend to lean on. Men will tend to lean on a bottle. They will lean on the drug. Because it's very painful for a man not to be able to make his wife smile. It's very painful for a man to not please the people that he loves around him. It's very painful for that. It's inner pain. It's like feeling like you're a loser consistently. It's like it doesn't go away after a baseball game. This shit just sticks around. So as a man,
that's the stuff that wakes you up in the middle of the night,
right? And then that's how a lot of this drinking stuff. It starts with a beer, then it starts with more, then you just start going into perpetual mode of feeling sorry for yourself, you know. So I mean, a lot of people, I would say, women don't understand that because they're not, you know, men. That's how we feel. But like when we can't take care of our women or the people we love, that puts us in a depressed mode. Sure. That can lead to other things. So I know people tend to do things when they're depressed. They try to mask it.
Just a million pitfalls.
Yeah, million. So these are things you have to. This is without the peer pressure. This is self-inflicting stuff.
Oh yeah, the self-inflicted stuff. If they just told you, man, that life would just, you would never have thought it. You know, growing up when we were kids, like, oh, this is life, whatever. But you would never have thought, like, here's the surface of life, and then there's a bazillion landmines everywhere.
Yeah.
Don't hit them.
Nope, they don't teach you any of that.
They don't teach you.
They don't teach you how to make it.
They don't teach you how to make it.
They say, hey,
yeah, there you go.
Sometimes you get some good, you know, figures. Some kids get lucky and get
man, my dad was great.
Yeah, some kids.
But still,
But I mean, like,
I needed to know, like,
well, even
there's a bazillion landmines.
Like I said, like, even if a person is great,
Yeah.
They don't know how to.
Some of that stuff they don't pass on.
Yeah, or they don't know.
They didn't know. They didn't
Exactly.
know. 100%.
So that's the thing. And it's like it takes someone like you, or myself, or someone that has the drive. Like I said, an anomaly will come along out of a family and be able to put something out there and be able to do something amazing. And now you have a fresh, patch of knowledge where you and your family can feed from, and you can teach, and you can continue to pass that on. But eventually, it falls out, it goes away. So because people start dropping the ball. I think that's a lot of the problem with these I hate to say, you know, some of these kids that are growing up with, you know, no filters and just being able to talk the way they want. I feel like maybe we dropped the ball. Our generation possibly dropped the ball
Maybe.
because we didn't pass on the knowledge. That's the only thing I could even think of. Maybe it's our fault.
It's a tough thing, man, to cut off those generational curses.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
You know, because you live in that.
Yeah.
And then you get frustrated in that.
Yeah.
And it goes back to all those feelings that you're talking about where you're just like, shit, I can't save the world.
Right. Yeah.
Right? I can't save the world, man. I got these people here that I got to save.
Yeah.
And you live in that. You start expanding that bubble. You start carrying the boulders of other men. And
Yeah.
it becomes a little too much.
Yeah.
You know, well, that goes back to what I was saying. Where do I find the strength?
Yeah.
Well, I got to find it in something much bigger than me.
Yeah.
So I can find that in God.
Yep, that's true.
So, but that's one of the things. Like you see, where I'm talking about the landmines, and devil's gonna get his claws in you here and there, whatever. But the bigger picture of that is, God says no.
No.
As long as God says no, nothing's gonna get at you.
Yeah.
As long as that, you know.
Well, what do you say? What would you say about going through your midlife where you are now? Did you experience any, I would say, hard times of adapting into, like, I wouldn't say midlife crisis. Maybe it's just like, because it does hit men. It does hit them as like feeling accomplished at a certain age.
Sure.
Did you feel any sense of that? And if you did, how did you deal with it? How did you get past it?
Well, that's,
If it
you
hit
know what's interesting is we go back and we talk about being lone wolves.
Yeah.
We're lone wolves, right?
Yeah.
That's how we were. I had my little brother, but he was still 10 years younger than me. But I still think there's a place for being close to a group of men.
Yeah.
You know, mentors, accountability.
Good men.
Good men.
Yeah.
Because you need something. You need another man to say, hey, dropping the ball.
Did you have that?
I mean, I got it in my pops.
Yeah.
You know, I got it in him.
Yeah.
But I don't got it in a lot of other places.
Yeah.
But still, even like talking about that midlife sort of thing where you go,
I'm not there yet.
I don't know that I've really, I feel like I might just be creeping into that where it's like, you almost feel like you're resetting again where you're lost, kind of.
That's
like shit. Yeah. What direction am I going in here?
It happened to me.
You know what I mean? Like, where am I going?
Yeah,
like,
it was crazy.
And why? Who? What? When? Where? How? And why? And like, you know, you're just kind of spinning on your top.
I think it hit me earlier when COVID happened.
Yeah.
I think that's when I started to deal with it because now I'm just like, wow, okay, now I'm losing these years.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think when time becomes pressing,
right? Yeah.
But I've lived in that time press for my whole life.
Yeah.
So I've always been ultra aware of time. Matter of fact, I lived with my granny for a good couple years, and there's nothing more pressing about time than living with an old person.
Yeah.
You got to hear like, oh, you know, when I was 20, it feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, Granny, I don't need to hear this.
But now you feel
But now I'm like, oh man, that's relevant.
Yeah.
Like, that hits you.
Because it does happen.
Oh,
quick.
dude, 100%.
It's like, you know, I don't even remember being 27, 28.
I don't either. I don't either. Dude.
I don't remember those years. Yeah.
Right?
It's like, wait, where'd those go? But I never lived in time, so maybe that's why it hit me. Maybe that's why it hit me early, because I never lived in time, and I just started to pay attention to time. And so I felt like I'm nowhere near where I need to be right now.
That's one of the most unhappiest things for me.
Yeah.
Is that I'm living in time.
Yeah.
Instead of being present, because when you're living in it, you're pressed by it.
Yeah.
And when you're pressed by it, you're wanting to accomplish things. You're wanting to do things. You're wanting to save people. You're wanting to be heard. You're wanting to do all this stuff. Your brain, right, is just going like a rocket ship.
Yeah.
But in all that, you're not even present.
No, you're not. Yeah.
And so how can you be happy if you're not even present?
Right.
So that's a battle that I've lived
because
in.
I think that's also one of the reasons why I wasn't even enjoying life, because I was working so much and trying to accomplish so many different things and just focusing on the money that I wasn't present. Yeah. I wasn't paying attention to time. I wasn't paying attention to, like, the thing is, when you do pay attention to time a little bit more, you start, it's not living in time, but I would say paying attention to it to see, like, this is valuable. I need to enjoy this.
Well, just the small moments become something.
Right.
Like you said, you were out there, riding your bike.
Yeah.
Any other day, you might have just been out there riding your bike, but it became something.
Yeah.
Because you were present.
Yeah.
You were present in the moment. You're like,
Yeah.
here I am, I'm living, and then you felt something.
Yeah, I appreciated that time.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like, and I spent so much of my time grinding and making these moves. I never was really appreciative of the time that I had.
Yeah, no time to even sit back and celebrate them.
Right,
Huh?
and if I not
Just
even,
keep rolling.
or
Keep
if
steamrolling, baby.
or if I did, if I was depressed or drinking or anything like that, or masking or doing things like that, I still wasn't even like paying attention to time. And even though I thought I was having a good time, I wasn't because I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't present.
Yeah.
I was like looking. I was living ahead of myself.
Yeah.
I was focusing on other things. If I know I'm not going to make this deadline, I'm not going to everything else mattered, but being in my presence.
Yeah.
That's
I've had a lot of W's, man, and
Yeah.
I didn't take the moments to really go.
That's something that's
Damn, I
important.
got a W there.
But I think we can do that now.
No, you can.
Yeah.
You can. I've been better at that the last couple of years, where it's like I'm just happy for that. I'm happy for this. I'm happy for that.
And it's just about being calm.
Yeah.
It's just about being calm and just soaking it in. And sometimes it's the best moments. It's not with a bunch of people around you. Yeah, right on.
Oh yeah.
It's just sitting there alone in your car, thinking about with yourself. I did that.
Yeah.
I did that. That's my moment. Nobody can have any say so or any
You know
kind
that's
of
a
feeling.
lot.
Yeah.
That happens a lot in the acting business because you are alone.
Yeah.
In terms of like, oh, I went to an audition. Well, now I got a call. Well, now I get the call. Oh, you booked this job. And it's just like those moments where you're just like, right? You get that call from your agent.
Yeah.
We got this job. You're like, yeah. Right. And I still even those now I wish I would have lived in those.
Yeah.
And I did live in it sometimes.
Yeah.
But I didn't never live in it fully like I should have because I'm like, time's pressing next.
Yeah.
Time's pressing next.
Yeah, that's
Keep
next.
going.
What's next? What's
Yeah,
next?
keep climbing the next peak,
Yeah.
baby. Keep going.
Well, I mean, it's positive because
It is
when you do
positive.
finally get to the top of the mountain, you get to look around.
It's one of those positive negatives.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's good,
Yeah.
but then it's bad.
It's bad.
But it's good. You know what I mean?
But you have to go through. I mean, anyone who's going to be successful has to semi be like that. We can't just always focus on as much as we would love to, man. I mean, honestly, it might even be better. I don't know because I've never tried to do both. I never tried to do both, but I know I don't know if it's possible to do both, to be successful and still be present. I don't know if it's possible.
You got me, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
When you, we're all so different, but we're also the same.
Yeah.
Sort of. What you're talking about is this sort of ingrained drive. I have that
You
where
just can't shut off.
you can't shut that off. And I don't know if maybe you won't be able to sit still and go until you're an old man.
Maybe, yeah.
Right? When you're sitting on your porch chilling.
But you got that bug,
But even
so
then,
you might not be able to.
like,
Yeah.
But I think if it's going to happen, it's going to happen then. Where you sit back and you go,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. That's what I did.
what I did.
That's me right
That's what
there.
I did.
And
And
now
then
we have
you-
a video trail of it.
And then you accumulate all your years and you're like, yeah, this is what I did with my 80, 90 years,
Yeah.
God willing.
Yeah. I got
know?
one, yeah.
Because it ain't far away.
Yeah. You blink, man.
You
lose
blink.
a year.
You
It's
blink
already
and all of a
done.
sudden you're an
It's
old
done.
man.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast it goes.
I know.
And then you just continue to go through these motions, man. And life is fleeting but full of blessings, bro.
Oh,
You know what I
man.
mean? So
They're there and there's more to come.
yeah.
And yeah, it's like you said, it's a wild ride, baby.
So what's next? What's next?
It's a good question. As an actor, you never know what's next.
Yeah.
You never know what's next. I have some things that I want to do outside of acting. I got a business plan that I'll talk to you about this off tape.
Oh yeah.
Because, I got a business plan put together in a thriving industry, a growing industry.
Awesome.
And I'm going to start trying to dash that out to some partners
Okay.
potentially. But I don't really, man, I've always been, how can I be as close to the people that I want to be, work the least amount that I can work
Yeah.
and make a living? Because not that I'm against hard work. I love work ethic. I work hard.
You just love life more.
But I love life more.
Yeah.
I will sacrifice time over money.
Yeah.
I don't want that. That money's not that important to me.
Yeah.
Sure, if I make $1 billion, I'll take $1 billion.
Yeah.
But it ain't the end of the world to me, right?
Right.
My time's more important because that's the true currency. You can't buy that
You
back.
can't buy time.
Can't buy that back. Warren Buffett can't buy my time,
Yeah, I know.
right? Like he got Anderson. Hey, I'm gonna give you you be me, I be you.
Yeah.
No thanks, bro.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
No.
I don't want that.
I don't think anybody would take that deal, to be honest with you.
Someone
I don't
might.
think anyone would
I don't
lose.
remember who it was, dude, but the dude was online and he goes, "Hey, so let me tell you something. I'm gonna offer you $1 million. Okay? I'm gonna offer you $1 million, and this is a perspective thought. I'm gonna offer you $1 million." And the kid goes, "Oh hell yeah, that'll be cool. I'm good. No one can ruin your day today, right? If I gave you $1 million, you're gonna have a great day. You know what? Let's make it $10 million. Cool. But here's the catch. You don't get to wake up tomorrow."
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I go, "Man, this is awesome," because
Yeah,
the
I
dude
heard
goes,
that, yeah.
"Oh, hell no. I don't want that money."
Right.
And he goes, "Okay, so your day, your life tomorrow is worth more than $10 million.
Right.
Right? So it's a perspective thing where it's like,
Yeah.
we put all this emphasis on things that we think we want,
Right.
we hope we get, but then we always value time over all of it.
Yeah.
Living to tomorrow,
Yep. Health.
being
time,
present, time, health.
family.
So, the old saying, we suffer more in imagination than we do in real life. So true.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I remember a quote like that.
We suffer more in our imagination than we do in real life.
Yeah, you're worried about the
We
future.
just make it
pain
so
about the past.
complicated, man. It's
Yeah.
like these politicians, they ruin everything.
Yeah.
Just making stuff complicated. And on the large scale, they do that. On the small scale, in our lives, we do that. We just make things so hard on ourselves when really you're here,
Yeah.
I'm here, John's here, everyone else is here that needs to be here.
That's right.
And that's a lot to be grateful for,
Amazing.
right?
Yeah.
We get to sit down and BS, catch up. I mean, that's cool,
20
man.
years of conversation.
cool,
we still got a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm just coming into this sort of phase of my life where I'm like, all right, man, let's ride the lightning.
Yeah. Let's do it. Because you're hitting this huge reset. I don't know if you already have, but if you haven't, it's coming.
No.
And I'll tell you this. It's like the most amazing thing. It's like you have all that energy, but you still have all that focus.
Yeah.
So you're still here and you're ready to rock. You know what I mean? And it's OnlyFans time, baby.
Get out of here. I don't know, man. I don't know
OnlyFans,
I don't know
baby.
if my folks would be good with that.
Hey.
I don't know how my
Oh,
talent.
the cooking,
I don't know. I'm just on the
Bro,
cooking, man.
Dude,
Cooking in my underwear.
Why not, man? You
Shoot.
got salad. You got. I don't think you got to put the
He's
salad
already
dressing. I don't think you have to put the salad dressing on you or
I
nothing
know.
like
I
that.
get
But
it. Hey, man, I'm not doing that ever. Unless
You gotta make
someone's
a lot of
paying
people-
enough money.
Man, a lot of people are happy, bro. So that's what
man.
matters. The smiles are the best. What? Anderson Davis. I almost said Andy. I know.
was
Because
like,
I know you.
That's
I say
what my
Andy.
friends and
I've
family called me growing
Okay,
up.
well, I've always called you Andy.
Yeah, I didn't go with
yeah.
my real name until college baseball, my
Yeah.
first year. And I go, man, this is such a better name.
Yeah. Well, because it flows, man. It's a good acting name, too.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's my real name.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
like, let's roll with this, baby.
Shout out,
Let's
man.
roll.
All right, well, Anderson Davis, man. Andy Davis, my friend, long time, 20 years in, actor, entertainer, man. It's been a pleasure. to have you on this show.
I've absolutely enjoyed seeing you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm inspired
Yeah.
by what you do.
Yeah, man.
I'm here to support you.
Same, bro.
And I love you, man.
Love you
I
too,
love
brother.
you.
Shit, man. All right. Big Daddy Swolls, BDS TV. Yeah.